All right, so now we're at the final section of San Kata, which is a sword-on-sword form. And in the sword-on-sword form, we begin first with a technique called Ai-uchi. Ai-uchi is a penetrating strike that's going to take advantage of the uke strike coming in with a large arc and penetrate at the same time and place, but with a smaller arc. And so it creates a point of leverage that gives the advantageous effect of penetrating through the larger strike. We can see this from a fairly static relationship. We're just tip to tip. And first I'm just going to displace sideways, and I'm just have him go ahead and step forward and make his basic strike so he gets comfortable with the range and the action of striking. We want to make sure uke is, very comfortable with this whole idea of stepping in, because we want a nice committed action. He's rising up to Jodan, stepping forward and striking straight through to put it halfway through our head, basically. Now, in response to this, as we get into the responsive form, again at tip to tip, as he makes that strike, he comes in slow and we make a very small strike. We're making the same penetrating action, but about half the size of his arc. So if his arc is rising up to Jodan and penetrating down from here, we're going to make one that just rises just barely, like a short, sharp strike coming in. And the timing that we're looking at as we develop this technique is the timing of as soon as his body penetrates forward. So this has an isomorphic quality to all the techniques that have come forward from the very first technique in the kneeling to the first technique coming off of some of the techniques in the knife work. The techniques that are coming up straight into the man as soon as they rise up and begin to come forward. And that forward penetration action is what we're interrupting here with Ai-uchi. Right there. Now from here we go ahead and control down to the eyes, and then he takes a step back and we reset our range. Good. This basic technique is done in this static way as you're just learning it from one step, but over time, we'll take a step out here to the side, and we'll go at a greater range. We want to turn this into a dynamic technique where we're doing this on the fly, and this is a yumiashi walking. We're walking in natural stepping and attacking on the fly to make this go. So we're at great range, probably 15, 20 feet away, and we're walking forward, and the attack comes and the penetration comes. Ai-uchi. We control to the eyes, he controls down, we reset our distance, and we go back to range. So this would be the full kata presentation form of it, but as you're working on it, to begin with, just work the static form with one step. You get very comfortable with that and you can pull it off on the fly, then go right ahead. We might do one other line so you can see the action of this as it's coming in with sort of a shallow angle here. Directly in, and maybe a line like this. Directly in. So that's Ai-uchi from the first technique